Right. Cloud Foundry Foundation Technical Oversight Committee then for 30th of August 2022. Agenda for today then, actions from last week. A quick look over issue 98, allow members to have access to all CF repos. A quick bit on which working group we want to hear from next. Review the outstanding PRs and then any other business. So starting then, review actions from last time. I raised a PR and issue 98 was for us all to read, and we'll talk about that next. So that's nice and easy. Yes, issue 98, allow all members to have access to CF repos. Have we all had a chance to read this over the last couple of weeks?
It's a long-running issue, right?
Mm-hmm. So I read through it earlier today. It looks like it kind of resolved at we want to wait for RBAC features in GitHub Enterprise. They are now there, which is nice. But I have absolutely no idea if they solve the problem for us.
I don't think they do, because we're not on I don't think we're on a GitHub Enterprise plan. Like we looked at this a little bit when we were looking at the other options that we would have to make a more custom role for approvers that would give them more administrative access. I think that's where we discovered that not only are we not on a GitHub Enterprise plan, that would give us more customization of those. We're on a legacy plan that doesn't even have that maintainer role yet. So the one that actually looked like it would be a good fit wasn't yet available to us. And the cost structure for the latest plans might not be as good for us organization, I think.
Yeah.
So, and conveniently enough, I see that we have Carson on the call who started this issue. So Carson, if you're available and willing, is this still a problem, do you think?
I think that if we had RBAC, then I would say this is something we should pursue, because it would be nice to remove all the various forks that people have created up over time and just give everyone push access. Without RBAC, I think through conversations with leads, it was established that folks would not be willing to implement this within their individual teams. There's too much risk associated, and there's too much that someone with right access can do.
Makes sense.
An alternative approach would be something like branch protection rules. And that was brought up in chat, I think by Jeff. To like, that is basically the next step. Right now that we have teams and we are starting to enforce teams, we should start looking into like branch protection. That's like the logical next step, that we would like to generate config for that and automatically apply it everywhere. And once we have like confidence that those settings are appropriate, right, then we could revisit this issue, I feel, because probably the same can be achieved with that.
So we discussed branch protection rules, and I know the concern from leads at the time was twofold. One was, what if we create new repos and we forget to set up branch protection rules? You know, the onus is then put on us. We're not secure by default. And then the other one is it might be some not insignificant amount of work for some team with a large amount of repos to go and update all of their branch protection rules, and they just didn't want to do that. Like I did offer to go do that for them, which maybe eliminated concern number 2, but concern number 1 was still on the table for several leads.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like the automation that we now have in place for like the authentication or access to sort of generated teams and those types of things, right? We do that based on the working charters. We could do the same for branch protection rules. So we currently use Peribolos. That's like an automation tool utility from the Kubernetes test infra repo, and that same repo also has a utility for branch protection rules to enforce those using a similar config file. So we just basically need an RFC to decide on what are the global branch protection rules that we want to roll out and set up everywhere to enforce that basically on all the repos. And then we can start looking at implementing that. And if all that is in place, you basically eliminate both concerns, right? Because if they create a new repo, it should belong to a working group, and then it automatically will get those branch protection rules applied.
So yes and no. I mean, we have, I throughout this part of the conversation, we have been delved into one specific concern. The concern of write access being able to like let you push to privileged branches, right? But write access actually gives you a lot more than that. Like you can delete and close issues. You can take action that is like far more. I think delete and close issues are the two at the top of my mind. Delete and close some pull requests. Run GitHub actions everywhere. Edit the GitHub actions and run them to theoretically expose secrets. There was a range of things that would require a lot more work from leads and contributors to be vigilant about. And then that kind of came down to the argument of trust versus not trusting our members by default. And that was sort of a split camp. So I personally didn't make any headway on that argument. If you're willing to take up the flag, we can maybe reopen the discussion.
We should basically eventually end up in a zero trust situation, because that's like what if we want to comply with SALSA levels, right? We should have less. Yeah, we shouldn't have trust things like that. Like you always want people to review things and those types of things.
Right. So no trust, which is no write access right now.
Yeah. But still, I trust you as a person, Carson.
Thank you. That's so kind.
It sounds to me like there is just no progress we can make on this. There isn't the flexibility from GitHub's end to enable us to do this.
Yeah, I was looking over the permissions from that between even triage and write in the current permission schema, and it looks like there's a lot of pretty privileged operations that write allows as well. So if we can't exempt those from the rule, then this doesn't seem like it would be something we can implement in the near term.
And what does that maintainer role that we don't have today? How does that differ from having write access?
It's stronger than write.
Oh, okay.
So it gives more privileges. So it's something I think we'd wanted to give to approvers within a group.
Or bots, theoretically.
Yeah.
Good to know. Okay. I'm quite happy to take this away, write up where we are, and just, I guess all we can do is close this off. There's no real value in keeping this open and around. Does that sound reasonable?
Sounds good.
Ruben, cool. I will note that down as actions today.
Ruben, that's good to know about the other tool to apply branch protection rules. That might be kind of the next wave of declarative configuration that we want to tackle for the organizational structure.
Yeah, I found that out last week because there was a question, and I think the next logical step would be to start maybe an RFC with some ideas around branch protection. I haven't looked into that, but if other people want to, be good.
Right, okay, sorry. Zoned out there while I was typing. Did we want to address Ruben's point there, or are we happy to move on?
I think we just have that in mind as like the next thing we might want to tackle in the near term. But
Yeah, we're still
Don't get
tackling
track
we're still tackling the teams thing, right? Because we still have the
Yeah.
other teams.
Okay. Since we've not heard from working groups in a while, I thought now might be a good time for us to just double check, is the order in which we're hearing from them the one we want to hear from? Is the one that we would want to hear from more than any other at the moment?
I'd have to check the notes, but I think vulnerability management would be the next one up in the order we'd settled on. So
Okay.
Let
me go and pull that list and I'll stick it in here.
I'd be happy to revive that thread and ping Paul as the working group lead on that.
Sure
We do have the Labor Day weekend coming up in the US, so we might want to, which gives people the Monday, the 5th off. So we might want to schedule that for 2 weeks out, just so that Paul's got enough time. He's not, crunch time over the extended weekend.
What was that date again? Sorry.
I think that would be the September 13th.
Okay. That's that is the Tuesday, right? Yes. I was thinking that was a Monday for some reason, and I wondered why you're bringing it up. When does, I know we've extended the deadline for calls for proposals that we were wanting to give people time to get theirs in. When's that been extended to again?
The end of the day today, Pacific time.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes life easier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, yeah, go ahead. I guess. Let's get this scheduled in. Is there anything we can do to make this a little bit less manual? Hearing them, or are we happy that it's manual?
I think we said we'd see how it goes for a couple of cycles. So we're almost at the end of, I guess, the second cycle of those updates. So we could think about maybe instituting a more specific schedule for these, or like a place where that is posted more definitively. I expect we'll probably still have to do some massaging of that.
Yeah.
As people are available and as holidays come up and things.
Sure. Should we talk about that then after we hear from app runtime deployments in a few weeks?
Yeah, that sounds good. And then maybe we'll have everyone on the TOC back then.
Ah, yes, that's true.
We can
Back end
have everyone
September.
weigh in. Yeah.
Cool. So what date did you want for vulnerability management again?
I think I'm pretty sure that's September 13th.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Right then, let's move on to reviewing outstanding PRs. Hang on 1 second. There's a dog in my lap, and I thought he was trying to get up and go, but he is not. Okay, 325.
I don't believe you, Andy. I think we need to see the dog.
One of two. So transfer bush bootloader to app runtime deployments. Do we want to?
I have had a call with Dave, and we came up with a plan to make a proposal to, I don't know, basically deprecate Bosch bootloader in favor of splitting out the concerns into, like, say, just Terraform templates. So we want to see if we can have Terraform templates that would fit with Bosch deployment, right? So that would be maintained by the services in the, no, not services enabled, foundational infrastructure working group. And then on top of that, the deployment working group could think about maybe adding some Terraform files for load balancers, right? So, and they also have CI tasks that they would adapt to work with this. So basically, take away all the CLI interaction parts of Bosch bootloader and just keeping the CI provision a Cloud Foundry environment use case using Concourse, right? Like just focus on that. That was the plan that we came up with, because it's really hard to find people who want to actually maintain the Bosch bootloader experience. I think, yeah. So yeah, we're working on a proposal for that.
Do you want to close this issue off then in the meantime, if the decision is this?
We're not going to move it. Yeah, we're going to deprecate it. So that issue can be closed.
Okay. I'll leave that with you to close off
Yep.
and for the quick summary. Thank you. Okay. 394 is that can actually be merged, can't it? Ah, no, not quite, because Stefan needs to be able to. Oh, I can
Let's see,
just.
Yeah, can you just dismiss it?
Yeah, I
if it's
can. I'll
fixed?
just dismiss it. And I've dismissed the review. And I will go ahead and merge that. It's nice and easy. 387 now. So this is the implementation of the previous large amount of work. Do we just want to wait a little bit longer for people to chime in? Do we want to prompt people again?
I'm looking over the commentary.
There are concerns about bots. Some people rely on bots being admin. And they won't be after this, which I think is a good thing, because I mean, write access should be enough for a bot, and the rest should be doable with branch protection rules and those types of things. And you can add teams and things to have like exceptions to be able to merge into master or something, right? So.
So this really is hinging on the bot discussion, really, I guess. Can't really move this until we've decided exactly how we want to handle bots, if I understood you rightly.
There are 2 linked PRs, but I'm currently looking over those. Let's see, there's one that requires my review.
I mean, I think we've said, like, we wanted to give the working group leads time to comment. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of folks say that they think that their working groups are ready.
Yeah, we should
And
probably just go ahead. We can always,
Yeah.
If there's exceptions that we need to handle, right? We can always revert a part of that config.
Okay.
right,
Uh,
yeah,
Well, this is blocked on. Well, I guess not exactly. There's a conflict at the moment. Is it worth us waiting for Stefan to get back and resolving it, or should we just dive in and fix it?
I think we can go ahead and fix it. We might do that offline just to make sure that we're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
making any mistakes. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
but I mean, I think it's pretty simple change. Just like remove all of the content under the Teams key.
Yeah.
So it's something else must have snuck in there or something to conflict.
Yeah. Who wants to take that as an action? If nobody does, I'm happy to go and do the thing with the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you want to take a crack at it.
Yeah, I'll have a go on 387. Okay.
I was just deleting 5,000 lines of YAML. How hard could it be?
You have cursed me now. I look forward to just never getting to the bottom of it. I'm going to jump ahead slightly and look at 377, since it's related to this issue. It's the one that Ruben, you've
Yeah,
you've
I just
approved it now.
approved.
Okay, that's yeah. Do we need more than Ruben's approval on this? I'm guessing so.
I don't think so, because it's really working group change, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get it merged then. And merged. 377 is now ticked off. Okay, 387. Oops, what did I do there? Wait, what? Oh, 387. Sorry. Issue 97 is yes, is 398 is what it refers to. Just need
I think maybe has all the approvals we need there.
you've
Oh,
approved.
if Ruben approves.
Yeah, we discussed this before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And merged. And I'll close the issue itself off as well. Done. Okay, 324. Working group change. Oh, I was looking at this. It looks like it just wants the action running again, but there's also a conflicting thing. But I couldn't, for some reason, couldn't see how to run the workflow action again. And it's really weird because normally it's really obvious. But yeah, it threw me. I guess we're just waiting until we've been able to fix the conflict and then run it again, and we'll be all golden. Is that right?
I'm just looking over the failures on the action. Yeah, I guess so. If we resolve the conflicts, then maybe that'll run again correctly.
Okay, let's. We'll leave that one as is and come back to it next week. 368 then. Another working group change. Ooh, it's been merged.
Yeah, I was just reviewing this and realized that the change Amelia had requested had been done. So, and otherwise it was good to merge. So I dismissed her review and merged.
Perfect. 371 then, update CF Cred Hub team membership. Looks like a not particularly massive change.
Well, it should just be obsolete now, right? Now that we're throwing out all the non-official teams.
True. You know, the change itself.
Can we go back to 324? Now I resolved the merge conflict.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, Ruben, we've moved on.
Yes, I will quickly. Yep, review it. Yep. Yep. I'll approve that. Need one more approval, I think.
What are the rules for adding reviewers to a working group? So there's something like Ruben proposing this as the working group lead anyway, right? So you probably just have override powers.
Probably.
Go ahead and push the button then. Okay, right, 371 then. So just thinking, are we confident that the team structure that this was, or the team members that this PR was putting in place are reflected correctly, or do we need to get the author to update the new structure? Or have I misunderstood?
They shouldn't edit this file because these teams are going away. So if they want access for particular users, they should edit the working group charter. So they should get like an approval role, apply for an approval role in the foundational infrastructure working group UAA area or credit area.
Yeah, and I think also they're kind of ignoring the working group governance structure, and they've just been like, oh, I want to add this person to this team that gives access. So the new person probably needs to start out even in a reviewer role in the working group until they've submitted enough changes to become an approver.
Okay.
So we probably need to comment on that to clarify, you know, and
Yeah.
let's go through the governance structure.
Yeah. Would you mind?
I can take that on. Yeah,
that's probably one for me to learn from as well. Okay, so that was 371. 372 then. So this one has gone through.
Actually, on 371, Stefan already said those things.
Yeah, Peter had some follow-up questions about like, is this not the right thing to do? I think we need to say like, no, that's not the right thing to do.
Yeah. 372 has gone through the full process with a decent amount of evidence in tow there.
There is actually a good point there. We have instructions that still mention that you should edit the YAML organization file.
Oops.
Oh, I see. Like even if you're proposing a new member instead of the separate members list file.
Does anybody want to take an action to go and correct that documentation?
I could do that along with providing updated advice on the community role process.
Thank you very much. It's 372. I'm thinking might just need a bump from us, maybe, if anything. It looks like it's working groups working independently to me. Any disagreement?
Yeah.
We want to just leave
I
this
think it's-
alone and sorry, go on.
Yeah, I think it just needs a nudge from the people in the app runtime platform working group, which is, yeah, normally Amelia, I guess she'll be getting back soon from her leave too.
Okay, well, leave it alone for now then. Yeah, we still see that not unattended. What's the word I'm looking for? Untouched. In a few weeks, we can.
I've requested a review from Amelia. That was the
brilliant.
thing in UI. So it's something.
Thank you. Perfect. Move runtime schema to the app. Did the check not run? Oh, check was cancelled. This is on 396, sorry.
390.
Mhm.
I'm just going to quickly rerun the jobs. And in the meantime, quickly review it. Oh, she knows. Yeah, I think that's about either about. Oh, no, it succeeded. Perfect. Okay, let's get that merged, I guess.
Let's see. I think we've had anyone from the app runtime platform working group actually weigh in on this. Looks like we pinged Amelia, but she's out until maybe early September.
I thought Greg was.
Oh, I guess I mean, he's in the working group. Yeah. We didn't have any. Well, I guess we don't know if he represents consensus from the working group. Maybe he does. That's probably, we can always move it back if someone else objects strong. I mean, honestly, if the app runtime interfaces working group is willing to take it, then that's good. It's usually the impediment.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and merge in. Yeah.
Great.
396, big old tick. Okay, that's all of the PRs out the way. Any other business? Nope.
Does someone happen to know where the CI for the jump box deployment lives?
Nope.
There's a bot still making commits, bumping things, but nobody knows where CI is.
Actual ghost bot. That is not scary in any way. So what was that? The CI bot for the jump box account.
Yeah, but I mean that it's CI infra something bot, and that hasn't been added to any working group. So as soon as we merge, it will lose access. Still, it's weird.
Okay. Wish I could tell you. But okay. Any more for any more? No.
Nope. Thanks, Andy.
Cool. Let us go do evening or afternoon based things. See you all next week, folks.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.